Hey guys, so I'm back here for part 2 of our front rack positioning. You can still see that one mobilization on the shoulder is already still having a good effect. The one thing I forgot to mention about the front rack positioning, one of the biggest mistakes is that we'll see people take too small of a grip or too narrow of a grip and you just can't fight to get it up, okay? So this is where we want to have that wider grip so that we can get a good front rack position, but it will also then lead to a better overhead position as well. So whether we're jerking or we're doing a push press, or you're just simply doing a strict press overhead, right? It gives us a better driving angle. My elbows are still forward at the bottom of those positions. We're not back, letting the weight fall forward. So we can transition from front squat down to a dip driving overhead. With all that being said, part 2, we're looking at the tricep here. So one of the big guys, well, the big guy that stops our elbow from actually flexing. So it's an extension-based muscle. So what I'm gonna do is just take one of those resistance bands. It's going to be on the back of my wrist and I'm going to grab a hold, okay? So it's a good firm grip on that band. You can't quite see this, but what I'm going to be doing is stepping on the band itself. So I'm just putting my heel in through the loop and then essentially standing normally, putting a lot of pressure into that leg. Okay, from here I'm going to bend my knees, bring my elbow into that front rack-like position, and as I stand up, the band is going to pull my elbow up. So I have okay mobility through here, but you may be stuck here. You may have to relax and let it get to that point. Okay, you can see that I still have a little bit of space between my ear and my shoulder here as well. If I turn for a profile shot, you see my back is relatively flat. I am having to brace my core and my glutes. I'm not just slack and letting it hang out here. So I'm tight. I also want to be thinking about pushing my armpit forward and letting my elbow get pulled skyward. So a couple things you can do here is just gently work the elbow side to side. You can contract and then relax, contract and relax. You can add some neck movement, checking blind spots to the opposite side, nose or chin to the armpit. Or you can take your ear to your shoulder. All of these things work some of that neck musculature, the traps and all that other good business that's in that area. You can see I'm just gently working that area, still letting my elbow get pulled up. So essentially my scapula is getting pulled down or through this direction as I come through, allowing me to get into some of those other sticky areas. So I've been there for long enough. I'm going to bend my knees and just slowly bring that guy back down. So you may even be able to see that one shoulder sits a little lower. I'm going to recheck that front rack position and reestablish that grip with thumb width off of my thighs. Grab a hold, and then we come up. And again, we see a pretty substantial difference between one side and the other. So for all these mobilizations, I'm going to do this one side. Then you can see the difference from start to finish on all of it. Okay, so last one coming up next, we're going to see some work on the wrist.